Throughout history, certain events recorded in the Bible have been scrutinized for their historical validity.
There are so many mysteries surrounding this city.
In recent times, advancements in archaeology, geology have shed new light on these narratives, providing compelling evidence that some biblical events did indeed occur. Join us as we uncover 20 such events in today's exploration. Number 1. Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark, a legendary vessel described in the Bible, has captured imaginations for centuries. According to the biblical story in Genesis, Noah built an ark to survive a catastrophic flood that covered the earth.
So the Ark is a giant ship. It's designed to survive this cataclysmic flood that's about to cover the Earth.
The Ark was designed to rescue Noah, his family, and pairs of every animal species. In terms of archaeological evidence, various claims and searches have been made to find Noah's Ark. One notable claim comes from a 2010 discovery by a team led by Noah's Ark Ministries International in Turkey. They reported finding what they believe to be wooden remains of a large vessel on Mount Ararat, a site mentioned in biblical accounts.
But curiously, the flood is also mentioned in both the Torah and the Quran.
However, the scientific community remains divided on whether this discovery conclusively proves the existence of Noah's Ark. Many view such claims skeptically, citing lack of verifiable evidence and the challenge of attributing such remains to a specific historical event.
For centuries, religious scholars and historians view the story of the Great Flood as a metaphor.
Regardless of archaeological findings, the story of Noah's Ark continues to be a powerful allegory of faith, survival, and divine intervention, resonating across cultures and beliefs worldwide. Number 2. Garden of Eden. In the realm where myth meets history, the Garden of Eden persists as an enigmatic symbol of paradise lost.
But where on earth did this biblical story of man's expulsion from paradise take place?
Mentioned in the Bible as the pristine dwelling place of humanity before the fall, its existence has intrigued scholars and archaeologists alike. Recent explorations in ancient Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, have unearthed compelling evidence. Fragments of cuneiform tablets from the Sumerian civilization depict a lush landscape akin to the biblical Eden, complete with rivers and fertile grounds.
The Bible describes the Garden of Eden as a land of lush vegetation, filled with animals.
These findings align with biblical descriptions of Eden as a place of abundant vegetation, where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers converge. The archaeological evidence suggests that such narratives could have roots in early human settlements along these ancient riverbanks. While the Garden of Eden remains largely symbolic in religious contexts, these discoveries provide a tangible link to the cultural and environmental realities of ancient Mesopotamia. They invite us to contemplate not only the origins of civilization, but also the enduring power of myth and belief across millennia. Number 3. Sodom and Gomorrah. In the annals of biblical archaeology, few tales capture the imagination like that of Sodom and Gomorrah. As recounted in the Bible, these cities, notorious for their wickedness, met a cataclysmic end in a hail of fire and brimstone.
As fire and brimstone begin raining down, destroying everything alive, even the vegetation.
Genesis portrays them as symbols of divine retribution, destroyed for their moral depravity. Modern archaeological findings have sparked both fascination and debate. Excavations near the Dead Sea, notably at sites like Babed Dra and Numera, offer intriguing clues. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of ancient civilizations abruptly abandoned, with layers of ash suggesting intense conflagration.
This shows up in the ruins as alternating layers of pure calcium sulfate,
possibly the very fire described in biblical texts. Pottery shards, ruins of buildings, and even skeletal remains add layers to this ancient mystery, hinting at a sudden and dramatic demise.
That test showed that the ash was a sulfate, a byproduct of a sulfur reaction.
Yet, interpretations vary widely, with some scholars cautioning against overly literal readings of biblical texts. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah continues to captivate, bridging ancient history with religious tradition and igniting ongoing explorations into the depths of the human past. Number 4. Ancient Egyptian famine. In a groundbreaking discovery, scientists have unearthed compelling evidence of an ancient Egyptian famine, echoing the biblical account of Joseph's interpretation of Pharaoh's dreams. According to the Bible, Joseph predicted 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of severe famine,
Egypt experienced a severe famine that lasted for 7 years,
leading to his rise as a key advisor to Pharaoh and saving Egypt from starvation. Recent archaeological findings lend credence to this narrative. Researchers have identified grain silos and administrative texts from the era of the 12th dynasty, pointing to a systematic effort to manage food supplies during a prolonged period of scarcity.
The narrow, singular entrance would have allowed only a few people to enter at a time.
These findings include inscriptions detailing grain distribution and records of a significant drop in Nile flooding, which would have drastically affected crop yields. The convergence of biblical text and archaeological evidence offers a fascinating glimpse into ancient Egypt's resilience and resourcefulness in the face of natural calamities. As scientists continue to explore these connections, the ancient story of famine and survival gains a new dimension, bridging the gap between history and myth. Number 5. Jericho. Imagine stepping into a time machine and witnessing the dramatic fall of Jericho's mighty walls, as vividly described in the Bible.
Everyone shouted, and suddenly the seemingly impregnable walls of Jericho came crashing down.
Recent archaeological discoveries in Jericho, one of the world's oldest cities, have brought us tantalizingly close to this biblical event. The book of Joshua recounts how the Israelites, led by Joshua, circled Jericho for 7 days. On the 7th day, they blew trumpets and shouted, causing the city's walls to collapse miraculously. This story has long fascinated historians and believers alike.
The city of Jericho is one of the most excavated sites in Israel.
In the 1950s, British archaeologist Kathleen Kenyon's excavations revealed the ruins of a formidable city with collapsed walls dating back to the late Bronze Age, aligning with the biblical timeline. These findings, alongside pottery and other artifacts, suggest a significant event occurred around 1400 BCE. However, debates continue about the exact nature and cause of the wall's collapse. Jericho's archaeological discoveries offer a captivating glimpse into an ancient world where history and legend intertwine, inviting us to explore the rich tapestry of our shared past. Number 6. Philistine discoveries. Imagine unearthing secrets that have been buried for over 3 millennia. This is the thrill that archaeologists experience when they uncover relics of the Philistine civilization.
The opportunity to discover the Philistine cemetery was very exciting.
These discoveries not only bring the ancient biblical narratives to life, but also provide a deeper understanding of the Philistines, a group often depicted as the arch-nemesis of the Israelites in the Bible. One of the most significant finds is the ancient city of Gath, believed to be the hometown of the giant Goliath. Excavations have revealed massive fortifications, pottery, and inscriptions.
Sets of remains have been discovered, some surrounded by surprisingly sophisticated items, including perfume, jewelry, and weapons,
that illuminate Philistine culture and daily life. Another notable discovery is the Philistine cemetery in Ashkelon, which offers unprecedented insights into their burial practices and biological makeup. These archaeological breakthroughs challenge the simplistic view of the Philistines as mere antagonists. Instead, they reveal a sophisticated society with unique customs and interactions with neighboring cultures. By piecing together these ancient artifacts, scientists are not only rewriting the history of the Philistines, but also enriching our understanding of the ancient world described in biblical texts. Number 7. King David. In recent archaeological discoveries, evidence related to King David, a significant figure in biblical history, has sparked scholarly debate and fascination. One notable find is the Tel Dan Stele, unearthed in northern Israel.
The Tel Dan Stele is evidence that King David really lived.
This inscription, dating back to the 9th century BCE, mentions the House of David, providing one of the earliest extra-biblical references to the legendary king. The discovery of the Tel Dan Stele was met with a mix of excitement and skepticism among scholars. Some hailed it as concrete proof of David's existence outside religious texts, validating biblical narratives. Others remained cautious, citing the fragmentary nature of the stele and interpreting its inscription with varying degrees of certainty.
There were more allegations.
For example, there are questions of, is it possible that this inscription is a plant?
Nonetheless, these findings underscore the intersection of archaeology and biblical studies, offering glimpses into ancient Israelite history and the enduring legacy of King David. They continue to fuel discussions about the historical accuracy of biblical accounts and the complexities of interpreting ancient inscriptions within their cultural and political contexts. Number 8. Cyrus Cylinder. The Cyrus Cylinder is a significant archaeological find, inscribed in Akkadian cuneiform, discovered in Babylon in 1879. It dates back to the 6th century BCE, during the reign of Cyrus the Great, founder of the Persian Empire. This ancient clay cylinder details Cyrus's conquest of Babylon in 539 BCE.
Cyrus justified his invasion to the Babylonian people
and his policy of restoring temples and allowing displaced peoples to return to their homelands, notably including the Jews. In the Bible, particularly in the books of Ezra and Isaiah, Cyrus is depicted as the liberator of the Jews from Babylonian captivity.
Cyrus's conquest of Babylon had been predicted and was described in the Old Testament by the Jewish prophet Daniel.
Isaiah prophesied about Cyrus as the instrument of God's will, referring to him as the Anointed One, Isaiah 45:1. This aligns with the cylinder's account of Cyrus's decree to rebuild temples and return sacred artifacts. The cylinder is thus pivotal in understanding both biblical and historical contexts, affirming Cyrus's humanitarian policies and the biblical narrative of Jewish restoration. Its discovery underscores the intersection of archaeology, history, and biblical studies, providing tangible evidence of events and policies described in ancient texts. Number 9. Lakish Reliefs. The Lakish Reliefs, uncovered by archaeologists, vividly depict a pivotal biblical event from the 8th century BCE. Discovered in the ruins of ancient Lakish, modern-day Tel Ed Duer, in present-day Israel, these reliefs are monumental in both size and historical significance. They were originally commissioned by the Assyrian king Sennacherib.
Now confronted the world's greatest war machine. The Assyrian army was powerful and extremely well organized.
To commemorate his successful siege of Lachish in 701 BCE, as described in the Bible and Assyrian annals. Carved onto limestone panels, the reliefs portray scenes of warfare and conquest. They depict Assyrian soldiers storming the city, scaling its walls, and leading away its inhabitants as captives. These detailed carvings provide valuable insights into Assyrian military tactics, siege warfare, and the ancient urban landscape of Lachish.
They also depict psychological war tactics employed by the Assyrians to dishearten the Jewish warriors.
The discovery of the Lachish reliefs not only corroborates biblical accounts, but also offers tangible evidence of ancient Near Eastern history and culture. They stand as a testament to the artistic achievements and propagandistic purposes of the Assyrian Empire, highlighting their military prowess and domination over their adversaries. Today, these reliefs are housed in the British Museum, where they continue to fascinate scholars and visitors alike with their dramatic portrayal of ancient conflicts and civilizations. Number 10. Salam Tunnel, Jerusalem. The Salam Tunnel, an ancient water channel in Jerusalem, stands as a remarkable testament to ancient engineering and biblical history.
Besides this, you can see ancient sewers and tunnels.
Discovered by scientists in the 19th century, this tunnel dates back to the 8th century BCE, during the reign of King Hezekiah of Judah. Mentioned in the Bible, 2 Kings 20:20, the tunnel was built to provide Jerusalem with a reliable water source during sieges. Measuring approximately 533 meters long, the tunnel was carved through solid rock, connecting the Gihon Spring outside the city walls to the Pool of Siloam within. Its construction detailed in inscriptions found within, involved two teams of workers starting from opposite ends and meeting successfully in the middle, showcasing impressive ancient engineering skills.
The tunnels create a passageway that leads to this pool called the Shiloach Pool. It used to be filled with water.
The discovery of the Salam Tunnel not only confirms biblical accounts, but also sheds light on the sophisticated water management systems of ancient Jerusalem. Today, it remains a significant archaeological site visited by scholars and tourists alike, offering a tangible connection to the city's rich historical and religious heritage. Number 11. Dead Sea Scrolls discovery. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls stands as one of the most significant archaeological finds of the 20th century, shedding light on ancient Jewish religious texts and historical context. In 1947, a Bedouin shepherd stumbled upon clay jars containing ancient scrolls hidden in caves near the Dead Sea. These scrolls, dating back over 2,000 years, include biblical texts, hymns, prayers, and sectarian documents offering unparalleled insights into Judaism and early Christianity. Scientific analysis and scholarly scrutiny of the Dead Sea Scrolls have confirmed their authenticity and provided invaluable historical and religious context. The scrolls include fragments of every book of the Hebrew Bible except Esther, some of which predate the Masoretic texts, previously the oldest known copies by about 1,000 years. Number 12. Pontius Pilot. In recent archaeological discoveries related to Pontius Pilot, significant evidence has surfaced corroborating his historical existence and role in biblical events. Pontius Pilot, famously known for presiding over the trial of Jesus Christ, governed Judea from 26 to 36 AD during the Roman Empire. Excavations in Caesarea and Jerusalem have unearthed artifacts such as inscriptions and coins bearing Pontius Pilot's name, affirming his tenure as the 5th prefect of Judea. One notable find includes a limestone block discovered in Caesarea in 1961, known as the Pilot Stone, inscribed with Pilate's name and title. Number 13. Bethesda Pool. Archaeological discoveries surrounding the Bethesda Pool, mentioned in the Bible's New Testament, provide fascinating insights into ancient Jerusalem's history. Located near the Sheep Gate, this pool gained renown due to its association with miraculous healings, as described in the Gospel of John. In 1888, archaeologists uncovered the Bethesda Pool's remains, confirming its existence and layout. The pool's structure consisted of 2 sections, likely used for bathing and healing rituals. Recent excavations, combining historical records with modern technology, have further enriched our understanding. These efforts uncovered a complex network of colonnades and chambers around the pool, suggesting it served as a significant gathering place and possibly a healing center. Number 14. The Tower of Babel. Archaeological evidence of the Tower of Babel, famously mentioned in the book of Genesis, remains a subject of scholarly debate and intrigue. According to biblical accounts, the tower was a colossal structure built by humanity to reach the heavens, prompting divine intervention to scatter its builders and confuse their languages. While no direct archaeological evidence of the tower itself has been uncovered, scholars have proposed several theories. One compelling theory suggests that the biblical narrative reflects the memory of a monumental structure in ancient Mesopotamia, possibly the ziggurats of Babylon, such as the Etemenanki, dedicated to Marduk. These stepped pyramids were symbols of the city's power and religious devotion, reaching impressive heights. The ziggurat's resemblance to the Tower of Babel in function and symbolism has led some to speculate that it may have inspired the biblical story. Number 15. Parting the Red Sea. Archaeological evidence supporting the biblical event of the parting of the Red Sea has intrigued researchers and sparked debates. Recent findings suggest a potential natural explanation for the phenomenon described in Exodus. Studies propose that a combination of wind and unique geographical features could have caused a temporary parting of waters in an area such as the Reed Sea, often identified with modern locations like the Red Sea. Research conducted by oceanographers and archaeologists has pointed to ancient shorelines and underwater topography that align with the biblical narrative. These studies indicate that during certain wind conditions, a phenomenon known as windset down could have exposed a shallow passage, allowing people to cross. Such occurrences are rare, but scientifically plausible under specific circumstances. Number 16. Sun stands still. The biblical story of the sun standing still, found in the book of Joshua, recounts a miraculous event where Joshua prayed for daylight to extend so Israel could secure victory in battle. This narrative, often debated for its literal interpretation, has sparked scientific curiosity regarding its plausibility. Scientists and astronomers have explored the story's astronomical implications. Some suggest it may refer to a localized optical phenomenon like a prolonged sunset due to atmospheric conditions, rather than a literal cessation of Earth's rotation. Others hypothesize a rare solar eclipse or celestial alignment that temporarily altered daylight perception. Modern analysis also points to potential seismic events that could have influenced the perception of extended daylight. Number 17. David and Goliath. In the heart of Israel lies the Valley of Elah, a place where one of the Bible's most iconic stories unfolded: David versus Goliath. This biblical tale, often interpreted as a parable of courage and faith prevailing against overwhelming odds, has captured imaginations for centuries. As Jeremy and Barry stand amidst the rugged terrain, they reflect on the epic confrontation. David, a mere shepherd boy armed with a slingshot, confronted Goliath, a towering Philistine warrior. The valley's historical and geographical context amplifies the story's significance, affirming its roots in a real place where bravery and belief shaped ancient history. Number 18. Crucifixion. The crucifixion of Jesus Christ stands as a pivotal event in Christianity, supported by both historical records and recent scientific discoveries. Archaeological excavations near Jerusalem have uncovered skeletal remains from the 1st century, bearing telltale signs of Roman crucifixion methods. These findings include healed nail wounds in the ankles, consistent with historical descriptions of crucifixion practices. Moreover, medical and forensic examinations have shed light on the physical ordeal endured during crucifixion. Modern insights into trauma and pain align with historical accounts, affirming the agonizing nature of this ancient execution method. Such scientific analyses not only validate the historical context of crucifixion, but also deepen our understanding of its cultural and religious significance. These discoveries underscore the convergence of scientific inquiry and historical documentation, offering compelling evidence that enhances our comprehension of ancient practices and their impact on faith and history. Number 19. The existence of Caiaphas. Recent scientific discoveries have shed new light on the historical figure of Caiaphas, a pivotal figure in ancient Judea. Caiaphas, known primarily from biblical accounts as the high priest who presided over the trial of Jesus, has long been a subject of historical and theological interest. In 1990, an extraordinary find validated his existence. A limestone ossuary inscribed with his name was unearthed in Jerusalem. This discovery corroborates biblical accounts and provides tangible evidence of Caiaphas's role during a critical period in Jewish history. The ossuary, a burial box for human remains, bears the Aramaic inscription Joseph son of Caiaphas and dates to the 1st century AD, matching the timeline of Caiaphas's historical prominence. Scientific analysis, including radiocarbon dating and paleographic examination, supports the authenticity of the artifact. Number 20. The rebuilding of the walls of Jerusalem. The rebuilding of the walls of Jerusalem, a significant event in biblical history, is supported by compelling archaeological evidence. According to the Bible, particularly in the book of Nehemiah, Jerusalem's walls were reconstructed during the Persian period under the leadership of Nehemiah, a cupbearer to the Persian king Artaxerxes I. This monumental effort was driven by Nehemiah's determination to restore the city's defenses and its symbolic significance as a center of Jewish identity. Archaeologists have unearthed remnants of these ancient walls, providing tangible proof of their existence and the scale of Nehemiah's project. Discoveries such as the Broad Wall, a thick defensive structure mentioned in Nehemiah 3:8, attest to the city's fortification efforts during this period. We've seen how these ancient narratives have found resonance in modern research, revealing surprising connections between faith and scientific inquiry. From archaeological discoveries to geological findings, each piece of evidence offers a deeper understanding of these ancient narratives. But that's not all. There's still a lot more to discover. Stay tuned for more fascinating insights and discoveries.